All right, today's guest is someone you've probably seen all over your screen, whether it's live TV, red carpets, or covering what's happening in the city. She's been right in the middle of it for years. She's built a career in high-pressure environments where everything is on, everything is fast, and there's no room to miss. But what I find interesting about her is inside all of that, she's created a space where things feel a lot more real. Through Mismatched, she's had conversations about dating, life, mistakes, things that don't come with a script and definitely don't get cleaned up for TV. So today we're going to get into both sides of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Servenis.
Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better.
Thank you so much. That's a really nice intro.
Thank you. It takes a lot of time. I get so stressed out because
you did so good. That was great. I'm like embarrassed, flattered, but it was very well written.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, so usually the spirit of the conversation is that we have your favorite beverage, and you said you like old fashions.
I love old fashions.
So we were going through different recipes before. I was gonna make you either a toasted marshmallow old fashioned.
Oh, I don't think I've had that before.
A Belgian waffle old fashioned.
Okay.
What was the other one, Stacey?
A s'mores.
That was the marshmallow.
The s'mores, the Belgian waffle.
Maple syrup.
And then the maple one. Maple
Okay.
ginger.
But I was like,
ginger.
but I like the cherry one. So let's try this.
I love how you've like upped the ante of like a recipe, and then you're bringing it to the next level.
You deserve the best.
Oh, that's very kind.
Okay, so let's try this.
Okay,
Hopefully
cheers.
It's delicious for you.
Oh, I'm sure. I have no
Cheers,
doubt.
guys.
So Norman, don't sip yet. I traditionally tap my glass twice on the table. I learned this from my dad, who learned it from his best friend.
Okay.
So every time you cheers, and then you do double tap. You tap once for the people that you're enjoying the drink with,
Okay.
and then you tap twice for the people that can't be here or have passed on, have maybe passed away,
I like that.
or couldn't be here, that they are like their essence is here to enjoy the company and the drink.
I like that.
Double tap.
Double tap. Everybody watch her face because she
God,
can't
that's
lie.
good. Oh yeah, I can't. I wear my emotions on my face, so you would be able to know if it tasted like ass. No, that's delicious. That's really good.
Thank you. So how's your day been?
It's been good.
Yeah?
I woke up, had an easy morning. I love me an easy morning. It's it's very rare that I have, time to like leisurely wake up and have a cup of coffee, perhaps watch some trash TV as I answer some emails.
What's the trash TV you watch?
Oh, I watch the ultimate trash. I watch like Love is Blind. I watch Love Island. I watch Summer House, Mormon Wives, all of it. It's my guilty pleasure.
Should we ask what's your opinion on everything?
Oh, about Taylor?
Yeah.
I think you really want me to unleash on this.
Well, I got an opinion.
How much time do we have for this?
I got an opinion
podcast?
too, so I'm curious on yours.
Okay, well, so have you watched Mormon Wives?
Not at all.
Okay.
But I keep up with everything because I'm surrounded by women.
Okay, smart man.
Yeah.
So you can chat about it.
Yeah.
You know what's going on. If you watch the show, you'll know that she's a mess. Like this woman, poor girl, has had a bit of a messy life, and she really hasn't gotten her shit together. And if you watch the season, it's kind of unbelievable that producers from The Bachelor even chose her as the Bachelorette, because she is in no way, shape, or form prepared or like ready for that sort of journey or commitment or even like mental toll that it takes on people going through that sort of experience. And so the fact that this all has blown up to me is like no surprise whatsoever. I feel bad. I know like ABC and Warner is like screwed. They've spent like millions and there's all these contracts and things. So like for me, my brain goes to like, now what's going to air and what's the aftermath like? And she needs all the therapy and rehab and help. Like I wish her all the best, but she needs a lot of help.
I agree. My thing is, okay, this is going to get way more deep than it should be.
Okay.
But what bothers me is a lot of people talking about Dakota, and then a lot of talking about her, like did he leak it, and
yes,
and this was like 3 years ago or whatever,
yes,
and how long should a person suffer for if she paid for it? But what bothers me is like, we're not talking about the trauma that the child has endured
100%
watching this. Like me coming from like an abusive home when I was younger, that stuff sticks with you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. When you see somebody getting abused, if you're like a male, it was a daughter or it was a daughter?
I think it was her daughter, yeah.
You either don't trust men in general, or you pick the wrong ones. or you think that's normal, right? We're supposed to see betterment in our parents' marriage and stuff like that, or relationship, whatever. So I think that's what bothers me most is like people are talking about that. I'm like, but the kids like. They're really the ones suffering because it's like what's going to happen to them and stuff like that.
And I'm sure, I know I think it was, I don't remember if it was her first or second that was there, like experiencing that like physical abuse. But I guarantee you, if one kid has seen that, also that probably has happened more than once,
It's just
most
the first
likely.
time filmed.
And exactly, first time filmed, and that like her other children were exposed to this too, which is like so unfortunate. And yeah, they're the ones that suffer at the end of the day, which is the most heartbreaking part of all of it.
Yeah, and I think my biggest thing is like these. Yeah, you can chalk it up as like yes, they're very toxic, both of them, right? The Dakota and what's her name again?
Taylor.
I don't even know her name.
That's all right.
But I think she just seems like she had no business going on a show anyway. Right?
No,
Like, seems like she just needed to
slept
focus.
with him the day before she went.
Yeah.
I think it was like less than 24 hours. That
Stacey's
she
like, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. It's like, come on, like that's, and what kills me though is like she knows all of this is being filmed and that like that is gonna come out.
Yeah.
So like, how does that even look to the guy that you end up with, or gentlemen that are like there for you wholeheartedly to like get to know you? Like it's so wasteful. It's very frustrating, you know?
Yeah.
For all the wonderful single women out there that they, could be on that show or be the Bachelorette, and yeah, it sucks for those guys. Like I feel sorry for them too.
Do you think they'll like pivot? Will they'll do like I don't know, more a Bachelor, not the Bachelorette?
I don't know.
Do you have some inside
No,
information?
they were talking about suing them.
Yeah.
The guys
Like a class
were,
action?
Yeah, like the guys were like banding together
go.
to like sue
I could see that.
ABC.
I could see that. You know what's so funny is there's so many memes circulating, and it's like a picture of all the bachelors like lining up, and the meme says like, I feel the most bad for all these guys that thought they were gonna like get clout from the show and like kickstart their careers because that's what reality TV does.
Yeah.
And now they're just like a bunch of nobodies
Yeah.
that sacrificed a few months of their life. But
Has she made any statements?
I think so, yeah.
yeah, nothing groundbreaking. It's like I'm taking the time and blah blah
Oh, yeah.
blah.
To
And the
be
worst
better.
part was
Yeah.
her daughter had to see it again, and then I saw a comment, and it was like, "Why is she watching it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that happening?
Yeah,
She's fine.
start there.
Yeah. Yeah.
funny.
So many questions.
Well, that's great. I don't watch that show, but I keep up with all the gossip.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so very first question. When I looked into you, you said that watching 9/11 made you want to connect people through media. What does connecting to people actually mean to you now after everything you experienced? Because you want to be a foreign correspondent.
Yeah, I did. And boy, oh boy, am I glad that I didn't choose that path, especially, in the world that we're currently living in now, more than anything. But for me, connecting with people is like sharing stories. Like it's getting to know people, getting to know who they are, where they came from, where they're going. And I think there's a sense with sharing, there's this connection that's built with people. And in that, I think that's like the point of life. Like that's why we do life. And that's why we are natural, like I think people or humans in general like need connection. And I think, a form of that is storytelling.
To go back to your connection part, I actually found that it was very interesting because during COVID, the most introverted people I ever knew craved a person.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't see each other and
Totally.
whatever. So I think no matter how introvert or extrovert you are, I think you need people around you.
For
So
sure.
if media can connect people around,
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Thank you. I know it's often seen as kind of a toxic thing, and it's unfortunate because I think there's a lot of good, and maybe that's me being naive and optimistic, but I think there's more good than bad, and yeah, it's just being able to filter that out, I guess, too.
But I think that's just because you have good intentions.
Maybe.
Right? I think you just have good intentions and like your passion towards it is simple but precise.
Thanks.
You want to connect with people and you just don't want to add fluff and you just want to add joy.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And I want to like spread that as much as I can. And I know it sounds cliche And, people who don't know me might be listening to me and be like, oh, she's full of shit. Like, there's no way. But
those are just the angry people, though, to be honest with you.
But it's true. Like, I don't know. When people ask, like, you think, like, and now I'm getting deep, like the bigger scheme of life and what's your purpose and all of that. Like, I just want to bring joy to people. Like, I want to be happy. I want other people around me to be happy. That is, like, to me, like the reason for like going through life is like, you gotta enjoy it.
Do you know your purpose?
I think I'm discovering it, but I think it has something to do with connecting people, with bringing joy to people. And I think as I get older, I feel this greater sense of like giving back and that being a purpose that like I definitely want to like explore in like a bigger way, whether that, I always say, like, whether it be like some sort of like nonprofit or, community that is like built or I'm helping. I haven't like really found what that is exactly, but do I feel like I'm getting closer to discovering that? Yes. And like, I also think your purpose can like evolve and change. Like maybe in this chapter, this is your purpose, and maybe in like the next decade, it will be something different.
Yeah, I do believe people have eras and seasons in their life.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
I think that connecting people on a broader scale is something that a lot of people say is nice, but it's like hard to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because like it's definitely something that is once it's done, like you can feel connected with people. Like I remember when I was watching an interview you did, you said like you were in school and like you realized that everybody was watching the 9/11 on TV at the same time, which made me think about, that's crazy. I didn't even actually think that like the whole world or like most of the world were together in just viewing a tragedy.
Yeah.
And like to bring people together in something negative like that is so beautiful. So have you always felt that like you want to bring people together in community even when you were younger?
Yeah, I think so. I've always been like a people person. Like I've always like gravitated to like group things, and I like enjoy, like I always enjoyed like even as simple as like group projects and things like that. Like
Are you like a more the merrier kind of person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's gotten me in trouble. Like some people get annoyed because I'm like, everybody should be together and let's like, this circle and this circle come together. And people are like, no, Nicole, like I want you for myself, or like I want you like
over here
like,
or something.
Yeah, where like it's gotten me in trouble. But at the same time, like, yeah, I just feel like there's beauty in like surrounding yourself with like all the people that you love or all the people that you care about or working as like a team. And I often say that like not only in like a work setting of working as a team, which is why I'm in what I'm in, because as much as people may think it's like an individual career path, it really isn't. It's very much a teamwork. You just don't see most of the team that like work together to produce or, come up with the content or story or film or segment, whatever it is. But also in like my personal life, like I always say, like in a partner, I want a teammate. Like and it's funny because I didn't play like on a team sport. Like I was a dancer, which with other people, like I enjoyed group dances, but like I never played like on a soccer team or like a baseball team or a hockey team. But the concept of what that is like super important to me in all realms of my life. Like it's like you're collectively working towards the same goal and wanting to like, work together to get there.
So when you got into media, what's the day-to-day that like activities and things that you guys do that people on screen don't see?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot for sure.
Just a couple.
The non-glamorous part of it. I mean, there's a lot of like computer stuff. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of phone calls. There's a lot of PI involved, and if you're really good at it.
Girls are the best at being PI. They are the best. So one time, like I asked Stacey something, she figured out like everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, and he didn't pay his taxes. Like, what the fuck? How did you figure that out?
That's so impressive. I get it from my mom for sure. My mom, I always say, like in another life, should have been a PI. Like that woman, you say, all you don't even need a last name. Be like, ask like first name, maybe the first initial of your last name, where you live. That's it. Download of like everything, what you did and what you ate, and it's amazing. But yeah, that's part of like a lot of the background work is talking to a lot of people to kind of get a sense of the story or of who you want to speak to, even like research-wise. It's a lot of harassing people, which is like the part I like the least probably, because you probably don't get an answer the first time, so you got to find another way to get a hold of people. That can sometimes be tricky and disappointing.
Yeah, fair.
What else? I think you have to be like, there's a lot of like organization and scheduling in terms of like how long things are going to take, time management. We have to organize, as a producer, I'm thinking like that's the hat that I'm putting on to answer this question. You're responsible for like often organizing a crew, finding a location. For me in my producer role, like I also write, I like work with clients. So there's a lot of like layered jobs within kind of this media world that I'd say like complement one another. And so I joke all the time, like if TV doesn't work for me, my resume would just be like so random and weird of all the skill sets that I have, because it's it encapsulates like so many different things that eventually just come together and somehow make sense.
So would you label yourself a journalist then?
Yeah, I mean, that's my BA. So yeah, I think often people also don't know that. They think like,
Well, because
this is what frustrates me.
You went to dance. You danced in Hawaii.
I was on a scholarship, but I went to school for journalism.
Okay.
So, and that's what a lot of people don't know, because when I introduce myself, where I say my title, like I'm like a reporter producer, and really like a lot of people actually don't even go to school for that. We've seen it on like reality TV, like someone goes on a show and then you blow up and all of a sudden they're hosting red carpets and I will say like there's nothing more infuriating than seeing that, because
the hard work you put.
I often feel like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, and also like there's a craft to an interview. There's a craft to like making a story and doing all these things where, and people look at me and say, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But I do. I went to school. I learned some stuff. I paid a place, an institution money, so I could learn some stuff. Get a piece of paper, which now is not the same school, because I went to Ryerson or TMU. So they need to like get that degree paper sorted, because I need one that says TMU. I feel like also now my degree doesn't matter. I'm like, wait a minute, I still have it, right? Even though it's a different school.
That's so funny. I even like, it's interesting because sometimes I even see like, I saw a red carpet for something and somebody from The Challenge was on it. And I used to love that show along MTV Challenge. Like,
someone was just talking to me about that show yesterday.
It used to be good. And I'm watching, I'm like, how the fucker did you get on the red carpet? Like it's just crazy how
it's
we're in
wild.
the era of like reality TV. All it takes is having a great personality, being good looking, obviously, and like just have one viral scene and just like have a manager, and you can possibilities are endless.
You can rule the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but it's okay.
And I mean, I'm biased. I'm not a fan of it either. Like, and I feel super judgmental for saying that, but it's only because there are so many other people that like have worked so hard to like get to places like that, and like they deserve that sort of opportunity. But because they haven't had that, viral moment or been on reality TV, that they don't get that exposure or that opportunity, and it like makes my heart sad, because I know so many people that would like, that are overqualified, that would be so wonderful in that position, So I feel for people.
Yeah, I feel like that specifically when it comes to like the personal training world. Just because I've known so many amazing personal trainers who don't know how to make content, who don't know how to do that, but I've seen so many people who like, they look great. And they attach to one thing that possibly could be true, but they sell the shit out of it. And I'm like, wow, well, there's so many people I know who like deserve more clout or deserve whatever. But it's just like, what can be trendy? Now, if you can do both, then that's phenomenal, right? But
some people are not social media savvy, but are like the greatest trainers. And it's, I totally understand that.
So that bothers me a lot personally. But that's because that's my field.
No, but I get that. I would feel frustrated too. And I also see that, because I know trainers that are like super great, but like don't have a following or whatever, so they don't get certain opportunities or things. And it's it's just this world that we live in. Hey.
Yeah, well, even I started doing like a day in a life, and I got so many people like messaging me about it. I'm like, oh, this is exhausting. Like, I don't want to like put a camera here, and then I just want to train the clients.
I know.
You know, but you kind of it's kind of like you kind of have to play with the game.
If you don't hop on the train, then you're just gonna wave as it passes by and miss out.
You just hope to be as like genuine as possible, so you don't seem like fake.
I mean, that's your mantra. Not everyone thinks like that.
Oh,
that's
fair,
for sure.
fair.
Kudos to you for like adopting that mentality, but I can tell you that's not
How they
that's
feel.
not everyone's mantra or how they approach content. That's for sure.
Well, I'll try to do that. I also read that you were as much as possible a yes girl.
Yes.
So everything you could do as much as possible. Did you feel like you had to do that like as much as possible to like level up all the way up into the industry? Did you just want to show them like all your skills and you just felt like you had to just say yes to everything?
It's more of like a personality trait, to be honest, and less of like a work thing. Like I feel like I've always been the kid to, like even at a very young age, to say like, oh, I want to try that, or like I'll raise my hand, I'll volunteer to do that. I'm big on like I don't want to ever miss out on, and it's not so much FOMO, it's more so of like, I don't want to have regrets that I didn't try something. So in that sense, like, I say, you can't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
So you got to say yes to it and try it. And then,
So
and then
funny.
you can say, okay, maybe I won't do that again.
Was there a yes that like scared the hell out of you, but like you did it and it like changed everything?
I mean,
Or you saw like an increase in like eyes on you? Like,
oh gosh, there's probably a few of those moments, honestly, Norman, that come to mind. But I'd say like the biggest one for me was maybe not an apparent aha moment, but more of like a slow rise. But what was when I went into like freelancing, definitely. It was like when I lost my job at Breakfast Television, I was like really devastated, and I'd never like been fired in my life. And so as soon as like I started I was ready to, try to audition and go places to get like the full-time gig again, because that's all that I ever really knew. And then when certain contracts started coming in and it was like, oh, well, you can do this, but you can do this at the same time, I was like, oh, I can? And that was like a big change for how I'd say like the last 5 years have shaped like who I am and the experiences that I've had and places I've gone and people I've met. And so that definitely like changed a lot for me.
you seem like a very confident person. Have you always felt like you know who you are, or were you just willing to be uncomfortable longer to understand the process of you?
Well, thank you. I fake it till you make it.
Oh, yeah.
Is the mentality. No, I don't know. You know what? I can't say that. I've been a confident kid because I was on stage at such a young kid. You have to have some sort of confidence as a kid.
And if you didn't, it brings
right.
it to the forefront.
100%. Like that would definitely like shine through. I was a kid. I'll tell you a funny story. So I was like maybe 3 years old. It was like baby ballet, like jazz.
There's baby ballet?
Oh yeah.
This is crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a lot of running around doing not much, but I'll tell you. So my parents put me in it because I was always like dancing around the house and whatnot and walking on my tippy toes. And so there was like a recital at the end of the year where all the kids show off like what they've learned kind of thing. And so at 3 years old, I mean, it's like you have very low expectations of what's going to happen on stage. Who knows what these kids are going to do, you know? And, but like I was like very into it and very focused and very disciplined even as a young kid. And so the song was Walking on Sunshine. And we were in these like yellow little tutus. It was very cute. And we were in a long line. There was maybe like 15 kids, if that. And there was a follow-up or like a waterfall. So each kid had to put their hands up, and then the next kid would put their hands up, one after the next after the next. And well, I was like standing probably in like towards the end of the line because I was one of the smaller kids. So it was like a tall to small scenario. And so it was time for me to put my hands up. So I put my hands up on time. You know, I was like doing my waterfall, and then the girl in front of me was supposed to put her hands up. I was standing there ready to put my hands up, but I couldn't do it before she did it because then I would jump the waterfall. So she's standing there and she's like out to lunch, like not paying attention. This is all captured on video, which is the greatest thing. And she's like standing there and I'm realizing that like we're running behind off of the music cue. So this is the kind of kid I was. I grabbed her hands and put them up and then put my hands down and then put my hands up. So that I could like continue the waterfall. And it was like I was, not a shy kid and yeah, definitely like confidence. But with confidence, I think you can also still be like a little insecure. There are insecurities for sure. I'm not superhuman. And so yeah, I definitely have insecurities. But yeah, I was a confident kid, I would say.
Yeah. I felt I've always been pretty. It's interesting because I'm an introvert, but I'm the most extrovert introvert you will ever meet.
Yeah, I get that.
I recharge alone.
Yes, me too.
Right?
Same.
But my industry is just me fucking talking to people all the time.
Which is exhausting.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why you don't like talking. That's how you recharge, because you give so much that you need to like sit with yourself and then like charge the batteries alone.
For sure. And yeah, that's true. Even Stacey's like, she could tell on my face if I'm like, she's like, do you need 5 minutes? Like, first of all, I'm not 10, but yeah, can you give me 5 minutes?
Yeah. But that's so good that you have that relationship, that you know him well enough to like know that. And I have that relationship with my mom. She'll call me and ask me like, how's your day? I'm like, Mom, I love you. I can't talk to you right now. Like, I need an hour and then I'll give you a call back. She's like, okay, no problem. Like, now she gets it. But you have to have that sort of like understanding of one another, because then
especially in a business relationship, because like, we have a lot of important things to talk about.
For sure.
So it's like we don't have time to argue.
No.
And if we do, it's like, okay, let's just fix this right away. But anyway, what I was trying to get to is I always put myself in like positions where I have to either lead or talk to people more when I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta reserve myself a little more. So when I was younger, I've always been like great talking with people. It's funny because in a room full of people, doesn't scare me. If I'm like talking to like 1-2 people, I'm a little bit more anxious.
Okay.
Right? It's a weird thing like that. So when I was younger, I did stand-up comedy in high school.
No way.
Don't ask me to tell a joke. And then I'm not doing that live. We're not recording.
Don't worry, you're gonna do that on my podcast.
Okay. Oh my God, I gotta think of all these jokes. But the exercise that we had to do was it was like 20 of us, and every person had to stand up on to the stage and do their bit as long as possible, and everybody who thought it was boring would have to stand up and walk away.
Oh, that's terrible.
And you would have to do it until there was the very last person. And there's that asshole who gets up right away to mess with you.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, we did that a couple of times.
But also that knocks your confidence as soon as like...
But that's why you gotta be like, I got this.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Anyway, that really scarred me.
No kidding.
Because now I'm just like, whatever. Like if I see like, because I remember when I did it, I did a bit about, when I was that age, I was like, what's grade 10?
16, 17. Or 15, 16, sorry.
Yeah, 16. I think it was 16. My bit was, I wanted to go to Wonderland all the time. But my mom didn't want to take me to Wonderland, and every time I did, I guess I am telling the fucking joke.
Okay, go. Now you're committed to it. Let's go.
Aaron Still's locked into me right now. So basically, I would be like, oh, I want to go to Wonderland. I want to go to Wonderland. I have a hot date. And then she'd be like, well, we're not going to Wonderland. Wonderland's going to be there all the time. So I would like, okay, whatever. I'd ask all the time. And then I just said, you know what? When my mom is down and she's like, she broke her leg. And she's like, you got to take me to the hospital. I said, the hospital will be there tomorrow. And then everybody was just laughing. And I even got one person when I was telling it, they walked away. They turned around and they walked back. They're like, okay, what else do you got?
Nice.
What else do you got?
That's good.
It really like...
That's good.
It really made some calluses.
Well, that's thick skin that is grown throughout experiences like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's funny because I like being alone, but even like when I play football or if I'm a martial arts team, I'm just like, okay, like I'll just lead this, and then after I'm like, man, why? I just won't go home. I don't know why I decided to do that. Like I just like I want to take care of people, and I'll take the hits for everybody. That's fine. Like let's just. I always felt like I had the ability to endure more than others in everything.
Why is that?
I think it's a little bit of trauma, obviously, because I was raised by a single mom, and then I lived with my dad for a bit, and my mom worked so much. And so I just felt internally I couldn't complain because she's working so much. So I would have to do everything on the up and up and take care of everything as much as possible.
So you grew up fast.
Very fast. Puberty also hit me like a truck. So like I had to like really grow up. And then also I just felt like I had to take care as much as possible. So it's not saying that she did that on purpose. It was just a situation.
Yeah.
Right? And also growing up, like no woman should really be a mother at 16.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
my mom and I watched her become a mom.
Yeah.
Right? And she obviously we're close.
She grew up as you were growing up.
But we're almost like brother sister in the sense of like we both seen some shit, right? And then with my dad, awful person, and I had to take care of everything. So like I've always been willing to. If there's like 6 pieces of sushi right there, I'm gonna want to eat all 6. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
you're gonna wait.
I'm gonna wait, right? If there's like less like of something, I'll have less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like I'll starve a little bit more so that you can be a little bit more fed. And so the problem with that years ago is that I would always date a girl with like a broken wing, like.
For sure.
Right?
Because you could take care of it.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
that's, the more.
Not good.
Not good at all.
Not
But the
good.
more you invest in somebody else and they don't invest back, then you're the only person who loses out. Mm-hmm. Right? So I've always had, I always felt a responsibility to take care of people. And I still feel that. But I have a little bit more boundaries, as Stacey likes to say.
Yeah, boundaries are healthy,
Yeah,
for sure.
they are.
But they're hard. Boundaries are hard to do, too.
Yeah, they're hard, but I don't know. I think the problem with me is I'm willing to. I always think I can suffer a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Knock that mentality out of your head.
Preach that, sister.
Yeah.
It takes
Get
some
that
time.
out of your head.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to. That shouldn't even be a thing. It's like.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, but I'm way better than I was before.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Work in progress is good.
But
you need to kick that mentality to the side.
Yeah, I read as
You
much
can
as
feel
possible.
it's different than I want to change the verbiage in your head because that might change it. Instead of saying like you can take more like suffering or I think it's changing the verbiage of like shared responsibility maybe or like I think you need to change the relationship with the words of how you feel in your head.
The language of it.
Exactly. And I know that sounds so silly and
I don't think it does.
but I think it will change the way that you show up and then communicate when you need your wife or, a friend or your colleague to, like, I don't know, in any sort of scenario.
Yeah, that's definitely more healthy. I think I'm loads better at it. Yeah. But, still a work in progress.
As we all are.
Yeah. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about who was the first celebrity that like really made you a little bit anxious, and how did you deal with that?
Oh, I don't know if I've ever told this story before. So I was on a red carpet and I was pretty young. I think I was still an intern at the time. I could have been a production assistant like PA, but I'm pretty sure I was an intern. And there was a red carpet and it was a fashion event. And there were some celebrities, some fashion people, kind of like a mixture. And there
I feel like you're really tiptoeing about.
I am, because I'm trying to be very careful in the way that I say this. So are we name dropping? We're gonna name drop, sure. Alicia Cuthbert had come up to the carpet, and I was like, oh my God, like so cool, She was growing up like 90s, like she's everywhere, And I was asking her a question about a show that she was going to be on, and she was a lesbian in the role. And so my question was something along the lines of like, you know, what was it like working with so-and-so or something like that. And she just took it like left field. And I was like so embarrassed, but like also like mortified because she took it as if I was asking her like, I don't know. And I don't know where, maybe she had a bad day. Like I'm really not sure.
Yeah, they're people too. Like,
but I think like she was like, oh, what are you trying to say? And I was
wow,
like,
she was competitive.
oh yeah. Like I caught her on a bad day. And she was like, what are you trying to say? And I was like, you know, like working with so-and-so, like, was it fun? Was it interesting? Like stepping into this role? Like, and I'm like a kid, right? And so I also was like very unprepared for her to like challenge me on the question. If anything, I thought she would just say like, oh, it was fun. We had a good time on set. Like that was the clip that I thought like she was gonna give me. And instead it did not go the way that I thought it was gonna go. And then she kind of left like pissed and like rolled her eyes at me and like was like very dismissive. And maybe it's because I was young too. She knew I was young. But I think I went in my car and I cried afterwards. I was like, oh my God, Alicia Cuthbert hates me, but also she was such a bitch. I was like, but it could have just been a bad day, you know? And I was like young and so that was probably like one of the most like traumatic experiences I've ever had, honestly. It sounds ridiculous, but because I was so new to it and I didn't know how to like, I wasn't as confident exactly in the skill set of how to pivot or like, you know, make her feel more comfortable. So yeah, that was a really ick moment. It was really bad.
I saw that you interviewed Chris Evans.
Yeah.
How was that?
You know what? He's kind of like, he's a bit of an arrogant guy. I'm not going to say that he isn't.
Yeah.
But he was like, he answered my questions, but you could tell like, he's like, I know I'm the fucking shit.
I'm
like
Captain America.
Yeah,
right?
that's he answered the questions like Captain America,
oh, really?
You know, very much so. Yeah, but he was fine. He was fine.
That's so funny.
For sure.
Okay, so if somebody asks like if they think that fame equals happiness, what would you tell them?
No, I actually think the opposite. I think fame is like, fame is a heavy burden to carry. I play like question game, you know, where you ask people questions of like, you know, would you ever want to be famous and who would you want to be and all those things. I would never want to be famous, like ever, because I think fame is a recipe for disaster. I think it like, there's this, fame gives people this idea or this sense of power. And I think power is like what corrupts a lot of people and a lot of things. And I think there's so many celebrities that you can like look at and to see this happen where they gain all this fame and notoriety and power because they have money, and money often equals power. And with that, it's like people, it's never enough. Nothing is ever enough. So they're always looking for more. And where does that lead you when you're looking for more? To sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, vices. The only bad things come when you're looking for more of that, when the simple things no longer make you happy. And in that, I mean, how many people do we know have taken their own lives or, you know, are disasters and end up in rehab or like there's so many things that then snowball of what happens to people when they get that. But yeah, I don't think it equals happiness at all. And I think it's actually like a very scary thing, especially when you get it too quickly. When people get it quickly, it's...
I've always felt that power doesn't corrupt, it just reveals.
Interesting.
Because it's just who you are, but you have the opportunities to be more of a better person, more of an asshole.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's easier to be that though.
Oh,
and
no,
get carried away.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why they say like you have to ground yourself, like whether it's with people or activities or hobbies or things, and like because I think that then brings people back to like you're saying, the realization that you can do good with this.
I've read that there's a phrase that fame doesn't remove pressure; it actually multiplies it.
For sure.
Right? You have to be on all the time.
All the time. You have all these people looking to you, and like, you know, what are you gonna say? How are you gonna act? What are you gonna do? And that can like drive someone up the wall.
Well, yeah. When people sadly like commit suicide or whatever, not the first thing, but a lot of times people are like, why would they do that? They're so famous, they have so much money. It's like, yeah, but there's deeper things than that. And they're obviously battling with that. right? Because sometimes when you have so much, you end up having so little.
Well, also there's so much to lose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's the pressure of like when you have so much, you hold on to it so tightly because you have so much to lose, and often like it could be the littlest thing. So that pressure can drive someone crazy, or make them doubt themselves, or turn to other things to subside that sort of pressure and anxiety, and what comes with that.
How do you reveal the pressure, like release the pressure from you? Because you're always on.
There's a bunch of things.
Like you seem like a very genuine person in general.
Thanks.
Not fake at all. But at the same time, like people do need to decompress, and people do need to be who they are, and how do you do that?
For me, it's a bit of both. I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, it's like, I love a good spa day of like shutting down, like not being on my phone, and like when I say spa day, it could be at home, like, but it's like a self-care day, when
I get it.
you're doing what you want, what feeds your soul, whether it be like a bath or a workout or a walk
Or all that.
or all of it. Yeah. Could be a day at the mall. Like that's also very therapeutic,
Yes, it
and
is.
like also makes me feel better sometimes. But then it also could be like a night out with girlfriends where like, we have really good dinner and we have like, a couple cocktails and have a really good conversation. Like I think it's a bit of a balance of both.
When did you first feel like I need to do something more than just TV, and you just wanted to create? Because I believe you're a producer, right?
Yes.
So how did you want to evolve into that?
To be honest, I think it was the reverse. I always wanted to get into this to create, but it's hard to do that off the bat. Or I didn't really like what we were saying earlier, like I didn't know the purpose of like what exactly I wanted to create. Like there are all these ideas that are kind of like up in my head, and like by trade, like I'm a producer, writer first before I'm an on-air person. So I very much like got into, this media world because I like creating things. And as a producer, the best part of the job is that you are the only person that gets to see something from beginning to end. No other role does. The director is brought in often. A camera op only shoots like what they shoot, and then it's kind of like whatever the editor does with it is done. An editor only sees the footage that they're handed. They often don't have a say, and like yes, it's a teamwork and you discuss with all these people, but I'm talking like real from beginning to end. It's often in TV. Film is different, but in TV, producer is a person who gets to see everything from beginning to end, which is really cool.
How's it stepping into your own brand? Is that scary?
Pardon?
Like stepping into your own brand, like creating your own brand.
Yeah, definitely. It's like when you sit down at the table, I'm sure you've been asked the same question, and you're like, "Hey, like, who am I? What do I want this to be? And what do I want people to receive this to be?" And you ask yourself all these questions about like values and interpretation, and it's like putting it all down on paper is like hard and weird to see. It's uncomfortable. But at the same time, I just kind of like leaned into it. I'm trying to like be less hard on myself, because also like there are going to be mistakes along the way. I may say like, I may put all this out there and then be like, maybe I would revise this now. But at the time, at the place, that felt right. And like, I always want to be like unapologetically me. And like we also said earlier, like there's a season, there's an era for every person that you are. And like, it's allowing yourself to really like sit in that and not have regret about like how you thought about something or what you felt during that moment, and instead like looking back and being like, oh wow, like I can't believe that I felt like that, or this is what I would say to my younger self, or myself 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's okay, but growth is at different points in your life.
Pardon?
Growth is just different parts of your life.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. Like failure is a big thing. And I think something that also like I'm learning to accept more of. I always say, I'm like, my parents did a great job. I love my parents. They're the best. But if there's one piece of feedback that I would like give to them, or I want to take like with my kids one day, it would be to like let me fail harder. And like, because they're always there to like catch us or pick us up and say, it's okay, or we can do this, or I can help you with this. And I often say like, no, you shouldn't have done that. Like, I wish you let me fail harder, because as I got older, obviously you're on your own more and you fail harder. And like, I take things so hard. I take, like in my 20s more so, I'd say, like, I take it so hard, devastating, whether that be, again, like a professional thing or like a personal relationship, that it was really hard to kind of like build that strength and resilience. And I think I needed to do that younger. And if I did that younger, maybe I would be different. But
Yeah, but like the idea too of you earning your own stripes
yeah,
is I think is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I felt always that I wish I was pushed more as a kid. You know, I always felt like I don't want to like shit on my mom, but I was a very good track athlete.
yeah,
Very good, and I didn't try that hard, to be honest with you. And the reason why I didn't try that hard is because my mom never came to the meets. And so, but she was so busy. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to shit on my mom. She was so busy. And it was like one of those things. It's like if you don't care about this, this is the thought process I had when I was younger. Not now.
yeah.
If you don't care about this, then why do I? You know?
You're not the only person who has said that to me.
So it's interesting because the regret I have is I wish my mom would held me at a higher standard. I feel like because she knew all the trauma that I've been through, she just wanted me to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's out of love. But I looking back, I wish she would just push me further, because I now, as a person, I've discovered for myself, I can handle a lot and I rise up to the occasion. One of my favorite quotes from Shakespeare is some people are born great, some people achieve greatness, and some people have greatness thrust upon them. So I'm the last one. I will always rise up to the occasion, whatever it is. Like even today, pretty nervous to like talk to you.
Why?
Well, you're pretty
great.
cool. You're pretty cool.
I'm not cool
We're gonna
at
edit
all.
this out.
Cut.
But you know, I mean, I reached out to you like 3-4 times over email.
Oh my God, now I look like the freaking asshole.
You're just so busy. But to be fair, she replied, she's like, I'm so busy, my apologies,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But like, I just like, I always try to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And because I saw you as a person who's so good at talking, so good at being on air and so good at like retaliating in conversation, that challenges me because I want to be able to keep up with you. Right? And that's the way I see it.
You're freaking great, and you're making
It's the
this
old-fashioned.
experience is very easy. The
It's
old
just the
fashions work for
old-fashioned.
everything. They help
You're
with
funny.
everything.
You're too
No,
nice.
seriously, you are great. And that's genuinely why I am here, is because I was like, oh, he's really good. Like, this is going to be a good conversation. Like, I'm interested.
Yeah,
and I told you, like, you're going to come on my podcast.
Yeah, that sounds
and I
nerve-wracking at all.
wouldn't just offer that as like a token. Like, I
appreciate that.
I'm like pretty specific. So, yeah.
Would you consider yourself famous?
No. Ew.
You know you are. Yeah, you know, we literally, Stacy was telling all the girls here, because she'll be like, oh, like we're doing like a podcast today. I was like, oh, who's on? She's like, oh, Nicole Servenis. And one girl was like, she's like, I'm gonna come earlier to the class so I can meet her.
Oh yeah. You did.
I'm mortified. No,
And so I guess
I'm a nobody.
But you're
I'm
definitely
just,
not.
You're
Yeah.
definitely
But
not.
but I think my
Thanks,
question
guys.
is like,
When I'm having a bad day, I'm just gonna come have cocktails with you.
you can
guys.
come back anytime. Next time,
My
espresso
name's Ego
martinis.
Boost. I'm coming to hang with you guys.
That's funny, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like you are prevalent in TV, right? So when it comes to being downtown, walking around, or honestly even like dating, do you feel like you have to be a little bit more reserved?
You know, I probably should.
Okay, okay.
But I'm not.
Okay.
It's funny. I make this joke, but it's not a joke because it's the truth. I always get recognized, like when I'm out and about in the city. I get recognized when I'm either at the grocery store looking like I'm homeless, like I have like a messy bun at the top of my hair, I have glasses on, and I'm like shopping like a
I love how
7-year-old
you have a
woman.
hunchback.
Yeah,
You go
I'm
out.
hunched over the buggy, like looking for what I need,
Yeah.
Or I'm at the LCBO is like where I get recognized.
Yeah.
And
Which is crazy.
And yeah, with like a bunch of booze in my hands, I'm like, oh, hi. I'm mentally okay, I swear. Like I'm in a
This is
good
just a
place.
party for,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But most recently, funny enough, this happened like a couple weeks ago. So I have a speeding ticket from a year ago, which I'm fighting because it was unjust. And so anyway,
Okay.
we'll get to that at a later date. But I had to go into like the bureau to like adjust the court date because they had finally set a court date and I'm away, so I had to adjust it. And so I walk in to, you have to go through like security and then sit down with the officer and like whatever, change the date. And as I'm walking through, the officer goes,
Get out of here.
"You're Nicole Servenis." And I literally look at him and I'm like mortified that the police officer knows who I am. And he was like, "I watched that show with you and your buddy there, Teddy. Every Saturday morning I have a cup of coffee and I watch you." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's so sweet." He was so lovely, so kind. And he was like, "Can I get a picture with you?"
You're like, can you reduce this goddamn ticket?
I was like, "Can you get me off this ticket?" I was like, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I'm not the person or else I would." And anyway, he was so lovely. We took a picture and it was just so funny. I'm like, of course this happens to me. Of all the places for this to happen. But I'm very like I said, I'm myself wherever I go. And like, I don't know, I've always adopted that mentality. Like I am who I am and I'm never gonna pretend to be somebody I'm not.
If you're at because we had somebody on the podcast, she has like 2.5 million followers,
No.
something like that, and she's like,
Can we can't say who? No.
yeah, her name's Little T.
Little T Fitness. Taylor.
So I asked her because she like, how do you react to like getting like seen in public, and she's like, she just tries to acknowledge him, smile. Does that happen to you? Where just like if somebody like if I'm like in the LCBO trying to grab a. Get the fuck out of here. Do you try to be like, oh, hi? Like, do you automatically realize, like, they know who I am? Do you know that look?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a look and someone is like, shy to sometimes say something. But most people say something. And the first thing I say is like, I really appreciate you saying something. Because I know it takes balls to like also approach somebody that you want to, but you don't want to overstep, but you're kind of nervous or whatever. And yeah, I'll always ask someone like, "What's your name?" And like, because I appreciate it. It means a lot. I never take that for granted.
I think that goes back to what you said in the beginning about connection, because that just shows that like you're part of their life.
Yeah. In
a positive way.
Exactly.
They're happy to see you. They're excited.
That's a big deal. Someone takes time out of their day to tune into whatever I'm doing, or whether that be like follow, listen, or watch. That it means a lot. That means a lot that someone is carving out time in their day to hear what I have to say. Like I feel privileged, like that's, I'll never take that for granted ever.
Who is Nicole when like she's not a TV host?
Nicole's fun.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I get.
That's
Yeah.
an easy question. I say all the time, like I know I don't mean this in an arrogant way, but more of like a comical thing, honestly. I say like I'm like the fun girl. I'm like when we go out, I'm like we're gonna have a story by the end of the night. Something's gonna happen. We're gonna have a good time. Or like same thing like when I'm on vacation, I'm like vacation Nicole's really fun. Like we're gonna get up to some fun stuff. But I think that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I'm up for anything. So that means anything could happen.
Oh, wow. Did you ever question if you made the wrong move in your career?
I mean, maybe at a time, but in hindsight, no. Like never. Everything happened the way that it should, for sure.
Yeah. You were publicly rewarded for being fearless, the yes girl, the live girl, the one who could handle anything. Did that ever trap you into performing strength on days when you were really running on empty?
Oh yeah,
and how do you regroup when you're running on empty? Do you look in the mirror? Affirmations, deep breaths, in by 3, out by 2.
I wish I could say that was like a thing that I do because I try, but that doesn't like resonate the most with me, to be honest. When I had like a really rough breakup and I was like crying all night. It was like it happened at night, and then I cried all night, and I had to be up at 3 a.m. So it was like, I think I napped for maybe like an hour, honestly, because I was crying. My eyes were so swollen and so red, and I had to go to work the next day. I was like, I'm not gonna call in sick because some asshole broke my heart. Like, no, like that doesn't work like that. But I look like ass. So anyway, I put friggin' eyelashes on and I put glasses on to like hide some of the bags, and I don't wear glasses. And I remember after the show that day, everyone was like, wow, Nicole, you look so smart with glasses on. I was like, thanks. As long as I don't look sad. I'm like, great. But it's I have the mentality of like, you know, you suck it up and you get through it, which sometimes is not the healthiest. And then every now and then a good cry in the car is always really good. Good cry in the shower.
The shower.
The shower's a good
that's
crying
my favorite.
spot.
Nobody can hear you.
No one
You're
can hear
heaving.
you. Yeah.
Same time.
Totally.
You're
just
I get
running. Yeah.
conditioning.
Like I don't know if it's salt or soap, what's running down my face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like moments like that for sure. For sure.
How proud were you when you, at that day, that you pulled it together?
I wasn't. I honestly was struggling. I think my mom was proud of me. I think my mom messaged me the next day, that morning, was like, "Are you okay? Like, I can't believe you did that. Like, you should have called in sick." And my parents have always kind of been. It's funny because you say you wish your mom pushed you more. My parents like didn't at all. I always like put more pressure on myself than my parents put on me. My parents were the type of parents that would be like, "Don't go to school today," or "Don't go to work. Like, call it off. Like, relax." Because I have this like insane pressure that I put on myself. It's very self-inflicted. And so yeah, she was the one that was proud of me more than I was proud of me.
Do you think they just didn't push you more because they knew you'd do that yourself?
100%.
So they're like, we don't need to do this, but we need to give her more.
She needs to know she has
love.
grace. Yeah, like
grace,
she can like
that's a better
she
way
can
to say it.
fall or like, you know, not show
okay.
up and it's okay. Yeah.
How was Mismatched born?
Mismatched was born really interesting. So I had worked with SiriusXM over TIFF. They needed a freelancer. And a friend of mine had recommended me to them, being like, she's done TIFF a million times. So like you can rely on her to like get what you need kind of thing. So it was very much thrown into the mix. It was awesome. And then afterwards they had said like, you know, we loved a lot of the clips that you had, the sound bites that you got and your work ethic. And like, we'd love to partner with you on a podcast. Like, would you be interested in something like that? Because we're looking to develop that. I was like, yeah, like I have so many ideas. So I pitched a bunch of ideas and yeah, that was the one that like resonated and landed, and then kind of built it out. And it's been a labor of love, but like something that I love doing because it could not be honestly like more authentic and genuine. And in my space that I've worked in up until I launched that last year, I've never gotten the chance to like say things the way that I want to say things. Often as a reporter, producer, journalist, you say things that are scripted and, you know, concise and direct. And yeah, so to be able to elaborate on things and also tell stories from a personal perspective has been like very unique, but also like liberating, scary. It's like terrifying. But I've loved, like I've enjoyed every second of it, and I've learned so much from the amazing guests that I've had on as well. Like it's also been like an education, which is really cool. So yeah, that's kind of how I was born.
Interesting. Yeah, because when I read about it, the themes really talked to me about like self-embodiment, boundaries, reinvention, emotional pattern, and it just seems like it's just a really good like doorway of conversations.
Yeah, and I wanted it to be like, when I created it, I very much wanted it to be something that can evolve with me. I know it's been like a theme throughout this. It's like through the chapters of my life, I know that this podcast is going to change and evolve in these conversations. So I want to build a brand that leaves room for that as well, where it can go different places depending on like how I grow as an individual. So that was like intentional in how I developed it as well.
Interesting. What did your upbringing teach you about work, success, and pressure?
My parents are like the hardest working people. They like, gosh, they like my mom I think worked like 6 jobs to be able to like afford a house with my dad. My dad has worked his ass off his whole life. Like my parents work so incredibly hard that I very much get my work ethic watching them work. Like I've seen how many hours they put into things and how much sacrifice they make to, have what they have and provide what they've given to my brother and I, that like that's where my work ethic comes from for sure. And it's like, and my parents have always preached to us too, is like, be happy, like follow your dreams and your heart and work really hard at it. And like, you'll do what you want to do. And that's always been like the recipe of success, really. And success doesn't necessarily mean money, but success, I think, my parents, the way that they raised us to define it was like happiness. Success is happiness.
Happiness is success. Though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to what we were saying about like fame. And like, do you want to be famous or you want to be rich? You really want to be rich. You don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
And then even if you want to be rich, can you sleep at night?
Yeah.
Can you sleep at night with what you're doing?
With how you're doing it.
Like, I don't know if you feel like this, but obviously, even though I love what I'm doing, like I'm so blessed by God. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm tired,
course.
and then just like I think it was today. I honestly had an awful sleep last night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I had an awful sleep last night, but I remember I sat here and I got here at 5 a.m. and I was going to do the class.
You got here at 5 a.m.?
Our classes run at 5:45, 6:45.
Oh my God, that's awful.
You should come one time. Actually, you know what we're doing? In May, we're going to do Sweat for Sick Kids.
Oh.
You got to come for that. I know you've worked
Well,
with
now
me.
I'm going to come for that. I'm like...
But that's on a...
Only at 5 a.m. Don't worry.
It's not at 5 a.m.
Okay.
though, don't worry. But I remember I was sitting here and I was like, oh man, I'm tired. Like, I did not have a good sleep. And I just like, I'm really a lot better now because of what we had before of like changing the language to myself. So instead of like, I was tired, I'm like, man, like I get to like fucking interview Nicole Servenis today. And like, we're going to have some old fashioned.
That's a tough motivation for you
We're
today.
gonna have some old fashions at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And then I get to do everything I ever wanted. We have a beautiful team. So it's just relaying that conversation.
Totally.
And
it changes the way that you like approach your day or whatever
sure.
you're doing. I know this sounds so ridiculous. So I have a Peloton and there's
Why does that sound just because you have a Peloton?
Wait, there are different instructors and they're like very good at what they do. And this one coach that I love.
the blonde girl?
There's a couple of them. No, I know which one you're thinking.
She's like the most famous. I see the most memes.
She's not the most famous because I do the tread, not the bike. She's on the bike.
Yes, yes.
But anyway, one of the trainers goes all the time. Every time she starts a workout, she goes, "Tie up your shoelaces. I know it's hard, but you're here, and just remember, you are privileged to move today." And that sentence alone, I know it sounds so simple, and like we don't think about that often, but it's like when you're tired, you don't want to work out, or you don't really want to go to work or whatever. You're like, you have to remind yourself of that. Like, no, people would die to be in my shoes. Like the fact that I can walk or run or move, like. There's so many people that can't do that. Like, how lucky am I that I have the option to do that today? And I'm going to make the most of it because of it, you know?
We had a person on the podcast a while ago, Andrew, and he basically became paraplegic. And his goal was just to be able, by the end of his life, to walk down the beach and have like a rum and coke.
Aww.
And it's just so interesting because he's younger than us, right? I think so. Yeah. That's just his goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm bitching that I don't want to go run 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like it's really, you got to put yourself in perspectives like that.
100%.
Right? Because it's like we are blessed to move. Right?
100%.
And people sometimes who are, don't fortunately have that can yet still see the positive and still be great.
So it's like, if
Who
this
am I?
person can have this mentality, how the hell can I not think like this?
Exactly.
Like, exactly.
Did you feel your audience changed when you were being more honest on your podcast?
That's interesting. Yeah, I think so. I think people saw me differently.
In what way,
Maybe
though?
the audience didn't change, but maybe just the understanding there's like, it sounds so silly, but like more to me than meets the eye, I think is what people would say.
Yeah, because you do it's funny because you say like you can't judge a book by its cover, but how do you know if you want to read the book if you don't judge the cover?
Yeah.
Right? But it's so interesting because I feel like you're the type of person that's like bubbly, can have conversations about this and that. But I feel like you're that type of person, like if it's like 10 at night, you're having a couple of drinks, like you will have conversations about love. You will have conversations about religion and all these things. And I feel like you want to, because inherently you are a journalist and a journalist wants to understand, right? And I feel like you want to understand things and you're open to it.
Big time.
And I feel like because of like your big energy and your big smile, like you were able to show people that side of you on your podcast.
Well, thanks for saying that. That's been like the point of it, honestly. Yeah. And that's what I try and like remind myself every time I sit down for an episode. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Is that, you know, going into it, I want to feel like people are talking to their friend, or that like they can relate to something that they're either listening to or learn from something that they're listening to. Like that's been a big thing too. I'm like, I hope someone always has a takeaway from any conversation that I've ever had. And even if it's me sharing like a personal anecdote or story, like I hope that it reaches one person that they can be like, oh, like I felt like I was talking to my friend, or she understood how I was thinking or what I was feeling in that moment. And I learned something new that like I can apply then to my life, you know, or I'm going to change the way that I think about this, or I'm going to maybe try this. Things like that.
That's fair. If 22-year-old Nicole, the one trying to break in and be impressive, heard your breakup episode or your toxic relationship episode, what would shock her more? What you went through or what you're willing to say out loud?
Ooh. Is it annoying to say both?
No, but that just means I need you to describe that a little bit more.
Okay, sure. I would say, I was always like a sharing person. Like I would tell my friends things. Like I wasn't someone that like kept things super close to me. But I think in what I do for a living, most people would assume that I wouldn't share that sort of thing because it is so personal and vulnerable and it comes with a lot of judgment. So I think I would be like surprised that, you know, you have the gumption to like share some of the things that are maybe not great, because we want everything to appear shiny and perfect all the time. And I'm very much like a perfectionist personality. And at the same time, I what was the beginning? What was the
what you went through, or what you were willing to say out loud?
At the same time, what I went through, I think, and again, in terms of like relationships and love, I think, I should be pretty surprised about what you put up with. You think that you'll say no or walk away a lot sooner than I did, for sure.
Fair. What did TV teach you to hide that podcasting is teaching you to trust?
Ooh, feelings. Feelings, emotions. Often in TV, you know, when you're in front of a camera, you're told to like not show your emotion. You have to hold it together. You have to be the one that holds it together. You can't cry. You can't, you know.
You can't have a bad day?
No, you're not allowed to have a bad day. So in podcasting, if you've seen it, there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of pouring out. Honesty, for sure, which is not common.
Do you think that being publicly polished all the time in that world can delay private honesty?
For some people, for sure. Because it's like, I think it's like if you put on this persona constantly, then that's something that your body is just in that state all the time, which then when it's over, makes it really hard to then be vulnerable or open and honest and all of that. So it's very important to like compartmentalize that and know yourself well enough to know that like you can't be like that when the camera is off, you know?
I saw that you ran a marathon.
Half marathon. Don't give me that much credit.
Sorry.
I don't deserve it.
Why was that so important to you to train for that?
Oh, because I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
I'm not a runner.
2 hours and 7 minutes?
Yeah.
I think.
Good on you. You did your research. Can we cut that part out? We don't need to tell people that I'm a slow runner.
No, you just means that you have a good pace.
I did, and you know what? I wish I ran it fucking faster because I could have. Because by the end of it, I wasn't that tired, and so
I feel like you held it back because you wanted to keep that endurance.
Yeah, and because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, am I gonna burn out? Am I gonna drop? Like, let's just like stay with what I know. There was like that security there of what I had, of the training, of like consistency that I have done. That I had done. I was like, stick with the plan. Don't derive from the plan. And then by the last, like I'd say like maybe like even like 10K or 5K, I was like, do I speed up? Do I not? And then there's like, I can't gauge because like some people are like falling over. Some people are like sprinting
Falling
at this
over? What
point.
kind of half marathon is this?
Well, no, because you join up with them the full,
My
right? So
apologies.
you see all kinds of people of what's happening. And then I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at this point. Like, do my knees hurt? Do my feet hurt? Like,
Why?
but anyway, it was, I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I know it's not like I broke a record or any sort of thing, but because it was so hard for me. I'm not a runner, and I wanted to challenge myself to do something that I don't want to do. Running specifically for me was more mental than it was even physical.
Mm-hmm.
The physical stuff came actually like later, where like my knees kind of hurt and like
your knees
losing
ended up
toenails
hurt.
and things like that.
Yeah.
But like for me, it was like the mental fortitude to like run for that amount of time and think like I want to give up right now or I want to stop, and pushing past that was like that strength. That was the biggest strength that I built, more so than like even endurance, honestly.
Have you done another one since?
No.
Do you want
So
to?
this is my year of strength, where I'm doing a lot of like weight training.
Okay, let's
and
go.
like I haven't ever like kind of done that before, where I'm not like, the most cardio that I've done is maybe like honestly like 20-minute jog. Like that's it. Like I haven't done like anything.
That's
and
fair.
like I've done like a lot more weight training, but next year maybe I will do a full. Like I feel like, and that's been on like a bucket list thing, and this is me being friggin' psycho, of like before I die, like I want to say that I ran
Whoa.
a fucking full marathon,
Yeah,
you know?
You'll do it.
Maybe. Do you run? You said 10K like it was like a joke to you earlier.
You know,
so,
so-
I imagine that you've ran a
So
marathon.
I did the 4x4x48.
What is that?
I ran 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours straight. And I documented it all. It's on my highlights. Check it out. But because it was awful.
Strong serial killer trait right there.
Seriously though.
Thank you.
Guys.
Why would you like? Okay, so where does that come from? Like,
So it came from David Goggins.
love him. Read his book.
He's intense.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very intense.
Yeah. Something I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
Stuff.
yeah,
But
for
it
sure.
is the willingness to push forward that I appreciate, and it felt like a huge challenge. So the first day was a breeze, and then the next day at 4 a.m. was fine, and then 8 a.m. it's like, whoa, man, like I'm getting tired here, and it was definitely rough for sure.
Good
My
for you.
ideal plan in the beginning was to do it for an extra day so that nobody could touch me, and then I realized the second day I'm like, I don't need to do
Why are you trying to prove? Yeah, you're like, I'm not trying to prove anything. And
it's funny because like the last day, I put on a poll because like I was burning calories like a motherfucker.
yeah,
Right.
how are you eating in between that?
Well, so basically what I would do is I would run, I'd come home, I'd stretch, I'd have a Theragun
Yeah.
on my quad so I wouldn't pull on my knees, and then I would just fucking lay down and get ready, right? And then 30 minutes before I would have an energy drink or a coffee, and then I'd get back out there. And so it's like it would suck because obviously you can't keep that pace throughout the day. So in the beginning you have so much more time to
Yeah.
relax, and throughout the night you have like only 2 more hours or whatever. And the last day I was just like, I was so annoyed that I had one more run that I just waited an hour and I was like, I'm just gonna go finish this right now. So
No.
So I put out a poll. I'm like, what should I order for food? Sushi, pizza, and somebody said
Pizza.
sushi. So I just ordered a boatload of sushi.
Oh, did
and then
you?
I finished it. I came home, and then I had like a sleep supplement.
Uh-huh.
So I took it, and I told my wife, I was like, I'm dead to the world for like 10 hours. And I woke up, and then I remember I woke up like I was like this, and I was like, okay, I feel okay because I'm in constant motion, so it's not catching up to me yet.
Yeah.
And then okay, I'm okay. And then I even slept in the guest room. So, and then I put my feet down, and then I was like, okay. And then I stood up. I was like, okay. And I was like walking. I put water on my face.
Yeah.
I walked down the stairs. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked for days. And that was so bad, and I didn't want to run. And it was summer, and I love running. And I think I didn't run for like a solid 3 weeks.
No, you need a break. I don't think I moved for like a month after my half marathon. And I thought I was fine. I was like the next day, even 2 days later, I was like, I was fine. But then my toe really was messed. So it was not, I needed a solid break. And then that's when I was like, okay, no more running for me for a little bit, for a while. Like I'm good.
I ran also with a weighted vest.
You ran with a weighted vest?
He always runs
the
with a
4x4
weighted vest.
Yeah, it was 10 pounds.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, okay, because originally I was going to run for 3 days and not 2, so nobody could touch me. And then I was like, and I'm going to wear a weighted vest. Come at me. And so, and then after, like I said, the second day, I was like, I'll just finish this 48 hours and go to
That's
sleep.
insane.
And so I remember I reached out to somebody who did it, and I wanted to ask their opinion. I'm like, how do I survive this? He's like, honestly, you're going to be releasing so much glycogen and sugars. I was just having like gummy worms and candy and like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what else? Any more like advice? He's like, honestly, a partner to do it with you because it's like the days you don't want to do it. And I was like, okay, do you want to do it? He's like, no. So I did it all alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I've thought about doing it again, but I won't do it again. I don't have time for that. Stacey would kill
That's
me.
impressive. Well, it takes a lot of time to train for that sort of thing. And that was half of it too. It's like, I don't have time to run for fucking 2 hours out of the day. Like, who has time to just run for 2 hours?
Right. No, he didn't train. He just.
I mean, I always stay ready, but I wasn't that ready.
Okay, now I really want to go up.
But I wasn't.
And not because of the drink.
I wasn't that ready.
You didn't train?
I always run. Like I always like.
No, he's a runner. Like he enjoys running.
Okay.
But not at that
Just in
capacity.
But still, yeah, that's different kind of endurance that you're doing.
Serial killer.
What can
trait.
you do a half marathon in?
I don't know.
Never done it?
Probably fast.
I don't know.
Don't give him a time because then he'll be like, I'll beat it. But
I know.
That's true. That's
10
why
minutes.
Maybe we should say this out loud.
the problem.
No, he doesn't have time.
The problem with me.
Sorry, I won't do that, Stacey. Sorry.
The problem with me is like I'm a very competitive person.
Yeah.
So it consumes me.
Yeah.
Like it consumes me. So like I have to make sure like I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like even we did a step challenge 2 years ago. We did a step challenge with the whole gym, and like I was gonna do it with them, and then the last 2 weeks I was gonna bow out. I was just gonna do it with them.
Yeah.
And this girl who was doing it was like a monster. She had like a walking pad. She was an ultra marathon person.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, you're my motivation to be.
Yeah.
And it consumed my life.
Really,
Where like
eh?
at that time, even my wife was like, we have a family. We have a family, Norm. We have to work.
Yeah.
And then Stacey was like, we got to scale this business. Like you can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
The highest amount I got in one day was 48,000 steps.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and my goal was 50, so I bitched out.
Were you just walking all day? What did you do?
Yes. No. So
walking, running, in between his client during our classes, you could see him. He was like just like
Circling.
So what I had my watch, and basically what I would do is my first class would be at 5:45. I would wake up at 3:30 so I could get here and walk an hour and a half. And then I made sure when I do the classes, I was fucking zipping all around. And then I had my clients, and I made sure that they were doing things where I could walk around with them. And then when I had a space, I would go for a walk for like 30 minutes, and then I would do my weight training, and then make sure I go for a run for 30 minutes.
That's
and then
insane.
I would pack my days. This is the problem with me. And then I would pack my days, and then
How many
and then-
days did you do this for?
4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
And then I leaned out though, but
Yeah, no kidding.
and then at the end I would come home, I put down my daughter, and then I go walk for an hour and a half. Anyway, so competition consumes me. Even this year.
So in hindsight, it's probably a blessing your mom didn't push you, because you would have been like a psycho athlete. Like maybe something bad would have happened to you,
I'd be all right.
or like
Maybe though, maybe.
you didn't need it. You don't need it.
But even like now, like my martial arts teacher, I got an invitation to go to nationals for kickboxing.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And Laura and my wife and Stacey were like, "You're not doing that. We don't
Yeah.
have time for this."
Yeah.
Because I would have to do that, and then it started consuming my mind. Whereas like I have to do this, I have to do this, and this is the problem with me. It's just like if I do something, I have to go all the way, and I have to like far succeed anything.
But I don't think that's a bad thing.
It is when you like me when you're like
Depending
me.
on
like for example, like I want to perfect your show notes, right? And I think I changed them like seven times every day.
I feel so bad that you have you put all this pressure on this conversation.
No, you shouldn't feel bad at all. It's good. Not this conversation. Well, I mean, this conversation now. But I always feel like I have to one up every episode.
Yeah.
So I always feel like we have to do better. Like even the intros.
Well, that's an admirable trait, honestly, of you like wanting to like better yourself and like, you know, be an overachiever. Like that's an admirable trait to have. So.
Yeah, I just have to. This is why I have good people around me to reel me back.
Chill, Norman.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that people underestimate how important physical discipline is?
For sure.
Yeah, how
For
so?
sure. I credit that to like a lot of who I am and my success is like the physical discipline that I have. And I think like being an athlete like at a young age, like I was a competitive dancer and figure skater, like taught me that because you learn so much.
About you and your brain, your
Yeah,
mind, your heart.
100%. And if you can have, you know, the strength in your mind and then in your body to do that, like you're gonna move through life very differently than people who don't have that. I'm telling you, I've seen it.
I agree. Even like with training people, like I try to give them mental wins first.
Yeah.
And for some odd reason, the body always follows.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, let's cheers because we're gonna get a little deep. Okay.
Oh, okay. We need liquid courage to do that. Oh, I do anyway.
Okay, so in 2025, my word was growth. And wow, there was a lot of it. The kind of growth that stretches you, breaks you open, forces you to look at yourself, your patterns, your faith, your heart, and decide what stays and what goes. I launched a podcast, the most personal thing I've ever done. I shared stories I once kept quiet. Vulnerability felt terrifying and somehow freeing. I ran through a half marathon, traveled, and enjoyed so many milestones with friends and family. I grew financially, grew spiritually, I grew in love. I grew through work, through life, through lessons I didn't ask for but clearly needed. There was a devastating heartbreak, the kind that changes you, but I know this now, it didn't break me. It refined me, made me wiser, stronger, clearer, but who I am, who I'm going, and what kind of love I deserve. Talk to me about what typing that meant to you.
Gosh, this is a lot. I can't help but feel, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate, like at the end of the year, you like very, you know, you look back on the year and what you've learned and the peaks and valleys of it all. And for me, like, and I'm a little like woo-woo with like astrology and, you know, things like that, where like, so I'm Aquarius, and one of the things that like astrologically, like we have been in a state of like, you know, not like turmoil, so to speak, but like hardship over the last few years. There's been a lot of like climbing, like slow climb, like nothing really happening, kind of like waiting. And last year I really felt like was like the year of that, but also like taking like risks. And then again, like there was failure in that as well. And so for me, like at the end of the year, it was kind of collectively looking back and appreciating like the good and the bad and taking that as a lesson, but also learn to move forward with like maybe a like refreshed mentality, but at the same time, appreciating the lessons and letting it make me better instead of like hardening. And I think often in life, when things don't go your way, it's really easy to let things harden you and to be maybe a little bit more crass or realistic, people will sometimes call it, or frank, or, you know, but I have always been the type of person to not let that do it to me. I never want to let bad things like change the essence of who I am. And instead I really try and make a point to like Be like, no, like this is the lesson that I learned. We're gonna take that, and now we're gonna apply it to like move forward. But it's not gonna change who I am at the same time. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. When you were sitting and you were thinking about typing that out, was there anything you wanted to leave out? Or you think you said everything you wanted to?
I think I definitely didn't say everything I wanted to.
Okay.
Norman, I never really do.
Okay, fair.
There's a little filter of how I say things, because if I spilled everything, then there would be names. There would be
There would be names.
There would be names. There would be accountability. There would be,
yeah.
you know. But
funny.
no, that's the part that's left out.
I guess you know what? I should retrack and rephrase the question. I guess when you typed that and you wrote that, you felt free after.
Yeah, 100%. It was like, oh, and I've always been that way, to be honest, with like words and writing things out. That for me is like when I feel like I have like closure in like a relationship. I've always like written a letter, whether it be to the person or to myself, to like remind myself of all the things, or again, like at the end of the year, like that's something for me that's like, okay, I left it all out on the table, and we're gonna start fresh in the new year.
Yeah, I like that. What does balance look like to you?
Oh, something I am forever trying to achieve, honestly. Balance is really hard. I struggle with balance. Often
what
people
part
will
of it?
say, like, you work too much. You don't know how to turn it off. Which is true. I'm not going to deny that. It's true because my work is like my life. Like, I know that sounds bad when I say that out loud, but
if
it's
it's a
like
good
a
life,
part of
it's okay.
Yeah, it is. But it's like it filters in so many facets of who I am that like sometimes it is hard to turn it off. So I'd say like the work-life balance thing is sometimes difficult. But as I've gotten older, I definitely have learned to know when I need to shut things off and when I need to vacate or have time with my family and like put my phone away or like, yeah, that I've gotten better about that for sure.
I see that you share a lot about your dad. What's something he taught you that you didn't fully understand growing up, but now you carry with every day? I find there comes a time in every child's life that you stop seeing your parents as parents and you start seeing them as people. Or
Totally.
especially as a father and a girl, I feel like you see them as, hopefully, a protector.
Yeah.
Someone fun. But there gets a point where you see them as them. What do you see when you see your dad?
That's a hard question to answer in a concise way, because I know not every daughter has a relationship with their dad like I do, and I like never take that for granted. My dad has like always been my hero, and I mean I know he's not a perfect man, like I know that because I also have a close relationship with my mom. so I know that.
But nobody's perfect.
But what I do know is that, like you said, like my dad has always been like a protector. He's always been my biggest fan. He's always been like, to me, the greatest man, you know? So every standard that I have like is because of him. And what he's demonstrated, what love means and what love should be. And that goes from like how he treats my mom and like how their relationship and their marriage is, but then also like how he shows up for me as a dad, but also how he shows up for me as a friend. Like my dad is the kind of guy that like he's never judgmental, like ever. Like you could say anything to him and he will sit and listen and be like, instead of what most people would say is like, how could you do that? Or what are you thinking? Especially as a parent. My dad instead approaches every conversation of like, what can I do? What do you need instead? And that is like super special. And I try like to be more like him in that way. And like, he's just the most like positive, beautiful person. Like he sees the joys in little things. He like will always find optimism, even in like the worst case scenarios. He sees the best in people to a fault. And so my mom will often say, and I don't mean this like, to put it to me, but she's like, you remind me of your dad. You can't be like that, which is like to a fault sometimes, in that way. But it's still it's a great compliment. And yeah, I love my dad to bits. So we do a lot of things together. We also like to do the same things. We could sit and talk and have cocktails, for a night on the town. But then we go skating together. We could, go grocery shopping together, and it'd be like, or like cook together. Yeah, like he's just the best. So I feel really, really blessed to have a dad like that for sure.
What's the fondest memory that still sticks to you now with him, if you can share that?
Ooh, gosh, there's so many.
That you remember, I'm sure there's tons.
Yeah.
But what's something right now as I'm speaking to you is the first thing that comes up?
Something that comes up. I mean, there's like little things, but then there's like bigger things, like
Was there a conversation that sticks to you?
I think there's a few, to be honest, Norman. Before I've ever like broken up with anybody, I'll say, like I've sat with my dad and had like an honest conversation with him about like how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and I'll ask him like, what do you think, Dad? Like, am I wrong? Like, please tell me if I'm crazy or I'm asking too much. And he'll just always say like, Nicole, are you happy? Because if you're not happy, then don't like leave. Don't settle for not being happy. You need to be happy. Like those are memorable conversations because he like reinforces, I think, confidence in myself that sometimes I lack to like know what's right and what's wrong. But he does it in a way of not telling me what to do. You know what I mean? Like he's like a therapist. Like he'll like guide me to my own answer, which is like hard to do, especially as a parent, because all you want to do, as I'm sure, is like tell your kids what to do. Like that's all you want to do, right? It's to protect them and tell them what they should do. But he does a really good job of like leading me to my own thoughts. But also like whether it be I hurt myself or I'm like, again, like heartbroken or whatever it is, there's nothing like seeing my dad right after and like getting a Papa Nick hug. Like the second I have a hug from my dad, I like instantly melt and I'm like crying, whether it's like happy tears or sad tears. Like my dad came out. So when I was running my half marathon, him and a couple of his buddies came to my condo because it was along the route that I was taking to finish. And I had called them. They were going to meet me at the finish line, but they were at my condo first. And I was like, come outside. Like, I'm coming around the bend so I can see you. And I had the whole like high five from him and a couple of his buddies and like a hug and kiss. And he was like, go get him. You're doing great. You don't even look tired. It was so cute.
Yeah, my knees.
So yeah. Like he just shows up in ways like that. My dad, most dependable guy. And I think that's part of the problem, to be honest, is I've had such a great, with women, I think it's two things. You either have like not so great of a father figure that you look for like someone, it's like, I want someone who's not like my dad and like shows up in all these ways and blah, blah, blah. And the problem with me though is like, I have like a super dad. And so like no one has ever quite measured up to like my dad because that's like my standard of like love and what a man should be. So sorry guys.
That just means
Blame Nick.
Right, that's so funny.
Yeah.
What does success mean to you beyond your career now?
For me, beyond my career, success means, it goes back to what we said, I think happiness, just being happy in my life. And that could mean, being in love, having a family, or just being on my own and like living my best life, like I've kind of worked on both scenarios being true and learning how to sit with both and like making happiness the priority.
Okay, we're going to play a game. You ready?
Oh, I love a game.
Okay, grab a drink.
Okay.
We're going to play a red flag or a green flag. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, insisting on splitting the check on the first date.
Red flag.
Swearing on the first date.
Green flag.
Ordering off the menu for you. On the first date.
Green flag.
Pineapple and pizza.
Red flag.
Oh, girl. I love pineapple and pizza.
I have questions for you, okay? I have
okay.
questions for you.
Talk to his mom 3 times a day.
Oh. Red flag? Once a day is good.
Counts his macros at Thanksgiving.
Oh, is this a consistent thing or is it just like a phase?
It's a phase because he's trying to get lean for you, girl.
Okay, then green flag.
Okay.
If it's consistent, it's annoying.
likes white over red wine.
Oh, I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Blue flag.
Blue flag.
Doesn't want you buying him clothes as a gift.
Oh, that's fine. Green flag, sure. Like blue flag. I don't care. Whatever.
Blue flag. Does his own laundry.
Green flag.
Has holes in his socks.
No, it's a blue flag. I invented my own flag now. In this game. Has anyone ever done that?
That's so funny. Bites his nails.
That could be a red flag. That's like nervous energy. That's like a tick. That could mean, usually that means something. There's like a deeper rooted issue with something.
Still has his ex on his social media.
Ooh. Can I say blue? It depends
On.
on the breakup. If they broke up and they're like fine, then that's fine. Like I would never be like delete your ex. Like I don't care. But if it ended badly and he still follows her, then it would be like you're trying to keep tabs on her. Like that's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
I get it. Last one. Has old pictures on their social media feed from their past girlfriend.
Ooh, as long as
But it's down in the timeline.
okay, it's fine.
Like a year ago. Let's say they dated a year ago.
Totally
and
fine.
they started dating. Yeah?
That's fine. I would say it'd be more fine if it's not the first photo. If it's like a carousel and they're like in the carousel,
Okay.
that's fine. But like if it's like front and center, you know, and they're like, you know, like looking into one another's eyes, like
You gotta get.
red flag.
I think
Get that
that's fair.
shit off of that.
I think that's fair. All right. So these are the last 2 questions on the podcast. Describe yourself in 1 word.
I had you gave me a heads up on
Yeah, I
this,
did.
so I'm not gonna pretend like I'm coming up with it because I put some thought into it. I would say my word to describe me is passionate. I think like I put my full heart and like attention and care into everything that I do, whether that be like with my work, my relationships with like, my family, my friends, or like my romantic relationships where, yeah, sometimes it's really great, sometimes it's not, but my whole heart is like in it. Yeah.
And what does alpha mean to you?
Alpha. So I think often, correct me if I'm wrong, probably most people that sit in this chair associate alpha with like power and like leadership. But for me, I would define alpha as I was going back and forth on this, and like I want to be intentional about what I say. And yeah, I think for me, alpha means I mean, maybe it's not one word. Maybe I'm gonna explain it and then I'll get to the one word. Alpha means knowing who you are, sticking to letting your actions, like your words mean your actions mean your words, and showing up with clarity. And I think there's that sense of power and leadership, alpha, let's say, in showing up as you are without any regrets or without any uncertainty, and not having the need to control things. I think there's like a subtlety in showing up, again, like confidently as you are without needing the having that like power complex and knowing when to leave a room because you know who you are, or knowing when to show up maybe louder in a room because you know who you are. Like there's a subtlety, I think, in understanding and the power of really knowing self without ego that allows someone to maybe have, like, to me, an alpha presence. There's like a subtlety in that. I wish I had I'm not explaining like the proper word. I don't know. It's not coming to me right now of like what it is.
It's
but
personal to you, right?
yeah,
And as long as I think
I
that's
think
genuine.
I think alpha is quiet. Maybe that's the word. Alpha is quiet. It's like an essence of how someone moves, and all of like what I just said. It's not loud.
I like that. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
All right, so let's bring this home.
'Kay.
Where can they follow you? Their podcast, where they can listen to it?
Let's see if I get this all right. You can follow me on Instagram, Nicole Servenis, and you can also follow my podcast, Mismatched Pod, and that's consistent across the board on Spotify, Apple, SiriusXM, YouTube, all the things. So
amazing.
yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
You're amazing. You know what? Actually, I'd like to invite you. We do retro episodes.
Oh.
So what we do is we actually look back on like past episodes, and then we talk about pop culture.
Fun.
And while we have like a drink.
Okay.
So I would love for you to, and then Stacy's actually is on too, so you guys
Nice.
can vibe out.
Oh, we're gonna nerd out hard.
So I hope that we can get you back for a retro. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Guys, if you're listening on Spotify, make sure to give her a follow, her podcast a follow too. Make sure to share, tag. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We're on the road to 100th episode, which is a live show. Other than that, we love you. Ciao.